Hi, my name is Tiffany Jones, and my topic was orientation. So, my article was called Keeping New Employees on Board by Dr. Judith Brown, and it's basically talking about orientation, what you do bad, what you do good, and how to keep the employees there. Uh, I guess the turnover rate for employees leaving after orientation or within the year is really high, and that can become extremely costly when you look at the big picture of having to hire new employees and go through another orientation process and keep hiring them because that position is also not filled at the same time. So it becomes really costly for both you and the employees. So that's something to think about. She was basically saying that orientation, whether it be a day or 6 months, is really up to you, up to the employees, and up to the position. Like most employees say that they don't feel comfortable after leaving orientation because it's either like too much information at one time or they feel like they're just left to, sink or swim once the day is done. And she was saying that the main reasons orientations fail is because they're not planned out. They're not planned as far as time or events, like what you're actually doing within the day, the different activities. Employees don't feel welcome. They feel like it's pretty, excuse me, it's pretty cut and dry. This is why you're here, this is what you came to do, and this is your purpose. Not like you're becoming a part of this family, this organization, something bigger to help customers. And then they're not aware of like the job requirements. So they feel like, I know what this position is supposed to do. I don't know how I'm supposed to do it to the best of my abilities or what all the company would like me to do or not like me to do. So they just really feel like they're unknown to what they should do. So that's not a good feeling. Like I know in orientations that I go to, I feel really nervous after because I always feel like I don't really know what I'm doing. So don't get me wrong, you learn as time goes on with experience, but the best way to learn about a job is by knowing exactly what you're doing. So she states that if you do orientation correctly, it can reduce startup costs. So just again, going back to, having to hire new people and still not fulfilling that position. Now you're making the rest of the employees around you work twice as hard because they're doing multiple jobs. So it can save you costs in the long run, reduce anxiety. So, you have new employees there, new to this position, new to this environment. Sometimes they might travel, so they might be new to the state or like the area. So it's already a nervous feeling. Like it's already oh, I'm anxious. I just really want to do good. I'm very nervous. If your orientation is very welcoming, it's very thorough, there that takes away a lot of the stress that might already be added on to this employee. Again, it can also reduce that turnover rate, increase just the feeling of being welcomed, and it reduces the number of people that want to leave within, again, that like year time span. And then it also will save a lot of time for the supervisor and coworkers. So, there's nothing wrong with asking questions, but if everything was fulfilled within the orientation, that could save a lot of time with asking questions like little things like facility tours, something that, sometimes orientations won't have. So now I have to stop what I'm doing and stop you from what you're doing to ask you where's the copy room or where's the bathroom. Little things like that could have been taken care of back in orientation. So it's just something to think about. It can save everybody time. And then just develop a realistic job expectations, positive attitudes, job satisfaction. So when people know what's expected of them, they will perform. But if you never set those requirements, no one will know. So just making sure that your employees know this is a positive environment. This is something, these are our goals that we're working towards. When we're on the floor, no cell phones. small conversation. But when you're in the break room, feel free to do. These are things that might not seem big to you, but that's something big when you're a new employee. She also said, try to have fun in orientation. A lot of people report back that it's really boring. So something she suggested was like doing a scavenger hunt. So when you do little things like, introducing people or introducing employees to people or showing the facility or just little questionnaires and stuff, you can have them write down the answer and then it could be a small prize at the end. So nothing too crazy, nothing too expensive or time consuming, but it just makes it a little more engaging and interactive. A lot of times orientations can be just like this, where one person's talking and everybody else is just listening. But when you're engaging back and forth, it will help you remember a lot more, and then it also leaves that space to grow and develop a relationship, which would make you feel more comfortable asking questions in the long run. And then make sure that as employers, you stay in touch with your employees, because way after orientation, just because you leave right there, a lot of times people who give orientations might not be the manager over that department. It might be a supervisor. So I might not see you as much, but I would still want to keep that relationship, as well as I would want you to know that if you don't feel comfortable asking a question on the floor or you still need some help, you can always reach out to me. And then just checking in, just seeing how they're adjusting. Like I said, it's a new environment, new coworkers, new rules and regulations, just seeing if they're, picking up on everything. And also a really good suggestion, I'm sorry guys, that she had was assigning a mentor. And I really like that, because a lot of times, like when I'm a new employee somewhere, after orientation, then it's like you're on the floor and you're doing whatever you're supposed to do, and you feel nervous, so you don't want to keep bugging the supervisor, but you don't want to keep bugging the coworkers, so you try to switch it up. But if I was assigned a mentor, then I know I can ask all my questions straight to this person. And it's also kind of like your first friend. I know as adults, making friends shouldn't be a big thing, but it is, and it's something that you think about, and it's something that you consider. It makes the work environment a lot more fun. And so that was something else that was, not only a suggestion of hers, but also in the text, that you just got to make it interesting, but also full of the right information. Orientation is supposed to be and informational. I'm supposed to learn everything that I need to about this position, which is why I truly feel like a day is not enough. I mean, depending on the job, I enjoy a more extended time, just because it relieves a lot of pressure on you. Like, I need to know all of this by the end of today, 5 p.m. Like, no. Okay, if I didn't pick it up today, I'll hear it tomorrow, or I'll hear it next week, So that's really nice. She told a story about Mecklenburg in like 1996, but basically their HR department was switching it up. And the way they did their orientation was they would, give an orientation, and then they'd ask for the employees' feedback. And I think that's really cool, because nobody ever asked, hey, how did we do? How do you feel right now? So not only asking for their feedback, but implementing it into the next orientation. So I thought that was a very smart idea. Orientation is very crucial. It is the start of your future career. And I think if you want employees that are going to be a lifetime, long-lasting relationship, then you really got to start off with your best foot forward. My mom says that all the time. You got to make sure you take that initiative, that everybody's informed, but everybody feels comfortable. And you do that by orientation. So my questions, I have 3, are: number 1, how would you personally make orientation fun and exciting for your new employees? Number 2, What are the steps that you will take after orientation to make sure that all of your new employees understand all the information? And then number three, would you be open to employee feedback after an orientation?